Why babies freak out like tiny skydivers. The Moro Reflex explained. Hello and welcome to the channel. In my last video, which I shall link below in case you haven't seen it yet, I talked about the hypnic jerk, which is the startle reflex we all have just before going to sleep. That's just what it is, a reflex. In that video, I mentioned that the hypnic reflex reminds me of another type of reflex that we see in babies. Have you ever seen a newborn suddenly fling their arms out like they just realized they missed a step on the stairs and then pull them back in like they're skydiving without a parachute? Yep, that's not a baby doing interpretive dance. That's something called the Moro Reflex, one of the weirdest, most dramatic survival reflexes your body comes pre-installed with. Now, you all know I am not a pediatrician, a children's doctor, but nonetheless, I know a thing or two about the Moro Reflex. You can easily induce it in babies. To me, it's quite fascinating to watch. Here is a good example of a Moro Reflex. Do you see the correlation with the hypnic jerk, the hypnic reflex? In both cases, there is a sensation of falling, and the reflex is there to right oneself. When a baby pops out into the world, they are not exactly a finished product. They're like an iPhone on factory settings. Basic features work, but you still have to install language, motor control, and object permanence. But even on baby version 1.0, there are a bunch of reflexes already wired in. Little involuntary muscle twitches, muscle movements that help them survive before they know what's going on. Doctors actually check for these reflexes at birth. The rooting reflex, the sucking reflex, the grasp reflex, and of course, our dramatic little friend, the Moro Reflex. So what exactly is the Moro Reflex? Here's how it works. If a newborn suddenly feels like they're falling, or hears a loud sound, or experiences any sudden movement, their body instantly reacts with this 3-step mini panic attack. They fling their arms out and open their hands, and you see that clearly in the video. They inhale sharply, a little gasp. They then quickly pull their arms back in, clenching their fists, and often start crying. It's like their nervous system's version of screaming, I'm falling, save me, Mom! Doctors usually trigger it gently during a checkup by letting the baby's head drop back slightly. Again, you can see that in the video there, brilliantly performed by the pediatrician. It's of course safely supported. You don't let the head drop without any support. And then you watch their signature. I just saw my final exam grades flail. It's named after Dr. Ernst Moro, an Austrian pediatrician who first described it in 1918. So yeah, it's not very old, this reflex, in terms of it being described and published. And interestingly, 1918 is also the same year as the Spanish flu. Anyway, Dr. Moro noticed that babies didn't just randomly flail. It was a consistent built-in reflex that happened in response to a perceived loss of support. Basically, your nervous system yelling, we're going down, before your brain even has time to think. Exactly the same as what happens in the hypnic jerk. Please refer to the video that I'm referring to, the last video, the one previous to this one. Now, why would evolution give babies this freak-out reflex? Well, think about it. Human babies are pathetically helpless, right? A newborn giraffe is running within an hour of being born. A newborn human can't even hold their heads up. We're like little bags of pudding with a heartbeat. So evolution had to build in some backup survival software, and the Moro Reflex is it. Imagine our ancient human ancestors. Mom is carrying the baby while climbing over rocks, avoiding saber-toothed cats and tigers, doing prehistoric CrossFit or whatever. If that baby suddenly starts to slip, what's the fastest way for mom to know something's wrong? Answer. Baby instantly flings out their arms, makes a loud sound and essentially says, "I'm falling, Mom." The theory goes that the Moro Reflex evolved as a primitive survival mechanism, a way for infants to automatically cling or signal for help if they are dropped or if they lose balance. That's why you'll often see the arms fling outward first to grab something and then inward to hold on to something. It's like a pre-programmed catch me motion. It's cute, but it's also kind of terrifying. So let's nerd out for a second. What's new on this channel? The Moro Reflex is one of several primitive reflexes which are controlled by the brain stem, the oldest, most basic part of our brains. That's the same region that controls automatic functions like breathing and heart rate. In newborns, the cerebral cortex, the thinking part of the brain, isn't fully developed yet, so the brain stem runs the show for a while. It's the basic brain function. It's the baby's autopilot. When the baby suddenly senses a change in head position or balance, the vestibular system in the inner ear sends an "oh no" signal to the brainstem. The brainstem fires back with a Moro sequence: arms out, grasp, arms back in. Over the next few months, as the baby's nervous system matures, higher brain centers start to take control, and these reflexes gradually fade away, replaced by more voluntary, coordinated movements, which are under our own control, right? So the Moro Reflex isn't just a cute baby trick, it's a window into how the nervous system develops. Normally, the Moro Reflex starts disappearing around 3 to 6 months of age. By then, the baby's brain is like, okay, I got this. No need for auto freak-out mode. So instead of throwing their arms out, older babies might just widen their eyes or startle, like a normal grown human reacting to a jump scare. Doctors pay close attention to when this reflex appears and when it fades, because timing matters. If a baby doesn't have a Moro Reflex at all, or if it persists past 6 months, that can be a red flag for neurological issues, like brain injury, cerebral palsy, problems with muscle tone or the spinal cord, or maybe even child abuse, unfortunately. Traumatized babies, babies who are unfortunately, hit on the head or something, So the same goes for if the reflex is asymmetric, like only one arm moves out, but the other doesn't. That could mean an injury to the shoulder, to the clavicle, to the brachial plexus nerves. These are the nerves in the upper part of the arm at birth. There are certain conditions which arise due to a protracted labor during the birth, where sometimes the baby's arms are pulled in one direction or other, causing a paralysis. So basically, the Moro Reflex is the baby equivalent of a system diagnostic. If it's missing, delayed, or lopsided, doctors should start investigating. But some researchers believe that the Moro Reflex doesn't completely vanish. It just evolves. The modern adult version might be the startle response. When someone drops a book behind you and you flinch like you just got hit by lightning. That's the same neural circuit, just modified by a more mature brain. Except now, instead of screaming, "Mom," you just pretend you weren't scared. For some people, though, especially in certain neurodevelopmental conditions, the primitive brain reflexes can linger longer than usual. For example, kids with ADHD, autism, or sensory processing issues can sometimes retain bits of the Moro Reflex, which can make them overly sensitive to sudden noises or movement. Imagine your nervous system being on a permanent jump scare setting. That's exhausting. Therapists who specialize in reflex integration exercises sometimes work on reducing that residual startle pattern, helping the body finish those early developmental stages. So even though most of us don't flail like babies anymore, that ancient reflex still echoes somewhere deep inside us in the way we jump, grasp, or startle when surprised. So how do doctors check for the Moro Reflex without actually dropping a baby? So this is the test. This is the method we call the Moro test or the startle test, which you see beautifully demonstrated in the clip I showed you. As you can see, the examiner, the doctor, holds the baby semi-upright, supporting the head and the shoulders. Then they let the head drop back a tiny bit, just enough to create a feeling of falling. If everything's working fine in the baby, you'll see that classic spread out and hug motion. It's not fun for the baby, This is why they cry. But it is important to test for this, because it tells the doctor that the baby's brainstem muscles and nerves are all communicating properly. It's like the baby's first ever neurological exam. So the Moro Reflex isn't alone, of course. It has friends or cousins. It's a whole reflex squad. So let's meet a few. I mentioned these in my intro section. There is the routine reflex, where if you stroke a baby's cheek, and often this particular doctor in his YouTube videos does this quite a bit. You stroke the baby's cheek and they turn toward it. The mouth is open as if to drink milk, right? So it's to say, yes, milk source detected. And mothers often do this sometimes with a nipple as they're about to breastfeed. And this is to get the baby ready for feed time. Then you have the palmar grasp reflex. If you touch the palm of the baby, they suddenly grab your finger. And actually quite strong. They don't let go. But this is important. Monkey babies also have this. They must be able to grab something in case they are falling, in case they're dropped from mother or father or older siblings. They must be able to support themselves by grasping onto something. So that reflex is actually quite strong. I wouldn't recommend trying this at home, but you could, it's so strong, you could actually lift the whole baby with this reflex. But obviously it's not recommended. I don't do that. But it's just a measure of how strong this reflex is. And then you have the stepping reflex, the reflex where if you hold the baby upright, they actually do some walking movements. It's quite cute to watch. And then you have the tonic neck reflex, where if you turn the head to one side, the arm on that side straightens and the opposite arm bends, which is almost like a fencer pose. This one is not very common, but it is there if you look for it. All these reflexes show up in the first few months of life and gradually fade as the brain develops more voluntary control. It's kind of adorable, and the baby's nervous system is running all these default programs until the higher brain updates itself. One fascinating theory is that the Moro reflex might not be the unique reflex to humans as we think. I've mentioned this slightly for other reflexes. In primates, baby monkeys also have automatic clinging responses. If they lose their grip on mom's fur, they instinctively reach out to grab again. So the Moro reflex might be our hairless human version of that, a leftover from our tree-dwelling ancestors. Instead of grabbing fur, human babies they panic dramatically. It's like evolution saying, we'll keep the reaction, but take away the useful part. So thanks, evolution. You may have noticed sometimes the Moro reflex happens even when the baby's not actually falling, but just from a loud noise. That's because the reflex is also triggered by any sudden sensory shock, a visual shock, an auditory shock, so a loud noise, or movements. If you clap your hands loudly, the baby does this and flings their arms out. If it's a bright light, the baby does that, flings their arms out. If dad sneezes too close, the baby does it. So new parents often describe it as the baby jumping in their sleep, which is actually the Moro Reflex activating during light sleep cycles. That's why swaddling works wonders. It keeps the baby's arms snug against their body, preventing that falling feeling and helping them stay asleep. Because apparently babies' nervous systems like to prank them at 3 a.m. Now, what if the reflex isn't normal? This is the sad part of this video. So an absent Moro reflex could mean damage to the spinal cord, brainstem, or the peripheral nerves that control arm movements. If it's asymmetric, yes, again, we've talked about this, a broken clavicle, in a child abuse case, a brachial plexus injury in the upper arm, the nerves around the upper arm being damaged, for example, during birth. Or it could be also an exaggerated Moro reflex. This could indicate withdrawal symptoms from some sort of drug. Unfortunately, if mother has been, taking something she shouldn't during the pregnancy, alcohol, drugs, then this could affect the baby's nervous system in a profound way, including an exaggerated Moro reflex. Hypocalcemia can do this, where there is not enough calcium in the blood, or any kind of neurological hyperactivity or hyperexcitability. Again, drugs. So persistent Moro reflex after 6 months, that's a possible sign of developmental delay or cerebral palsy. So, as you can see, the Moro reflex is a very important diagnostic feature or diagnostic clue as to what's happening in the baby's brain. So, the next time you see a newborn suddenly flail like they're in zero gravity, remember that's not random. It's one of the oldest, most instinctive reactions in human biology. A reflex designed to help us survive before we even know what survive means. And honestly, it's kind of poetic. The first thing a baby does when they feel unsafe is to reach out. Something we never quite grow out of, If you enjoyed learning why babies act like startled raccoons, hit that like button and subscribe to Askadoc for more weird, wonderful, and occasionally horrifying things your body does without asking first. At askadoc.com, my website on all things medical, which you will see linked below, you can also subscribe to our free weekly newsletter for health tips, quirky medical facts, and much more. Stay curious, stay kind, and above all, stay healthy. Until the next video, any questions, feel free to ask a doc.